Labour Party, Keir Starmer confirmed this earlier this week, they are going to put up your taxes by £2,000.
That's a lie.
By £2,000 per working household.
Penny, your government have raised taxes to the record level in 70 years.
The last Parliament,
and we've
hated putting taxes up. We have now been cutting taxes. We will continue to cut taxes. The country can afford it.
You're using £2,000. You're using a figure that's been criticised by the UK statistics watchdog.
Costings and Labour's
Why don't you stand by your record? Record levels of taxes on working people. 26 separate tax hikes in the last Parliament.
About 12 new taxes.
Who would you say?
Who do you think is the biggest idiot?
I mean, it's tough competition, if I'm honest. It's really tough competition. I mean, we've got the highest death rates in Europe, and Donald Trump is killing, thousands of Americans by giving them duff advice, and his macho, I'm all right, look at me, I've survived COVID. He's an absolute buffoon. He has no place in the White House. He's an embarrassment, and he should be ashamed of himself, especially when thousands of Americans have died. COVID is a serious disease. It's a serious pandemic. People have died, loved ones have died, and he's an absolute disgrace. And so is Boris Johnson for not being able to even know his own rules. I think they're both idiots, and we deserve better than them.
Angela Rayner just made a huge mistake on live TV, and it's blowing up fast. Her comments about Donald Trump have left people stunned, and the backlash is already hitting hard. What did she say, and why is everyone furious? Let's break it down. British This one, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Dark British. Believe it or not, over 98% of viewers watch our content without hitting the follow button. Subscribing is completely free.
Ashamed of themselves, embarrassment. I think that woman needs to look in a blimmin' mirror. Maybe Lord Ali can afford to buy her one. The problem we have here, of course, is this isn't the first time in recent months that senior figures who are now, in America, who are going to be part of the Trump.
Rayner took a swing at Donald Trump, calling him a buffoon and acting like she's got it all figured out. She even went as far as saying she doesn't know who's worse, Trump or Boris Johnson. Bold words, but let's be honest, this is the same woman Woe has repeatedly fumbled basic details about her own policies. If you call her out, she tells you to clear off. She talks a big game, but when it comes to breaking down numbers, logistics, or how Labour's plans will actually work, she stumbles over and over again.
He said quite a lot of fruity things in the past as well. Look, I don't recognise that characterisation. I'm very proud of the election success that Labour had recently. We won votes across all different communities across the whole of the country, and we're interested in governing on behalf of Britain and also working with our international allies. So I look forward to that meeting if that is the result, and it's up to the American people to decide.
This isn't the first time she's made big promises without grasping the details. Take her pledge to build 1.5 million new homes. It sounds impressive, right? But then Committee revelation that a significant portion would go to illegal immigration. Confronted about it, she looked completely caught off guard, as if she was hearing it for the first time. How can you push a policy without even knowing what's in it?
Trump is killing, thousands of Americans by giving them duff advice, and his macho, I'm all right, look at me, I've survived COVID. He's an absolute buffoon. He has no place in the White House. He's an embarrassment, and he should be ashamed of himself.
Now she's taking shots at Trump. Like him or not, he actually delivered on many of his promises, cutting taxes, creating jobs, and even brokering peace deals. Meanwhile, Rayner can barely get through an interview without tripping over her own facts. Maybe instead of throwing insults at Armin with a proven track record, she'll focus on getting her own numbers straight.
When you promised that you would end it within 100 days, you knew what you were going to do, right?
Well, I've been very clear that it's a very complex situation in regards to leasehold. We will abolish the current system.
It's part of a pattern, is that you, in opposition, pledged to do lots of things that you said were going to be simple, and now you're not doing them. Another one, for example, is we heard the Prime Minister this week, just a minute, Deputy Prime Minister, we heard the Prime Minister this week saying we were going to...
Rayner claims that Lab plan to build 1.5 million new homes will help solve it housing crisis, but there's a glaring problem. During the same period, the UK is expected to see 2.5 million new immigrants. That raises a serious question: are more than 5 out of 7 of these homes going to immigrants? When pressed on this, Rayner dismissed my concern, insisting that it wasn't their reality, but the numbers suggested they're wise. If 5 million people are arriving and only 1.5 million homes are being built, who are these homes really for? Rayner then tried to downplay the issue, claiming that there are plenty of houses in the UK. Well, if that was the case, why argue that 1.5 million more homes need to be built? It's a clear contradiction. Meanwhile, Trump has been playing mind games instead of clapping back at Rayner. He did some more thinking. Next, he praised, saying he's done well so far for the UK. Was it sarcasm, a calculated move to shake Up either way, it's put Labour in an awkward spot, especially with Rayner running around throwing punches. She might not be able to back up.
1.5 million houses. Could it be to house illegal migrants coming in? Labour will also pay their rent and rates. Well, I mean, Angela Rayner was on the TV over the course of last weekend. I don't think she'll be back for a while because she made a bit of a gaff of it all. But she was a bit confused, wasn't she? She said, one, we've got plenty of houses. Yeah. Two, we haven't got enough houses. Three, we're going to be housing loads of migrants. Four, we're also going to be giving affordable housing to lots of people indigenous from this country.
Yeah, honestly, it's a disgrace. Not only that Angela Rayner is anywhere near government, but that's quite to one side.
That is also ridiculous.
It is, but
Angela Rayner talks like she has everything figured out, but when it comes to real policies, the details just don't add up. Her promise of 1.5 million new homes sounds ambitious, but here's the catch: a significant portion would go to elite immigrants there. Shocked, she seemed completely unaware of this until she was called out on Ithadoyo. Champion a policy without knowing who it's meant to benefit.
Quite substantial.
What number of pupils are we talking about?
Well, there's quite a substantial amount of pupils that are. I haven't got the numbers on me at hand, Nick, but it is quite a substantial amount of children that are in class sizes that are over 30 now.
Are we, Angela Rayner, are we talking about 50 children, 5,000 children, 5 million children? I mean, how many are we talking about?
It's a significant number. It's not 500 or 5,000. It's significant.
You've said that 3 times. Do you not think it would be an idea to have a sense of how many children we're talking about? You are the Shadow Education Secretary.
Yeah, well, I do have a sense of that, but I don't have the figures.
Could you give me the number then, please?
No, I'm not just going to pluck a number out of thin air.
I'm not asking
but I can tell you that the number.
And that's the real issue. Rayner throws out big numbers and bold claims, but when it's time to break down the details, she fumbles, and this isn't some isolated slip-up. It's a recurring pattern. She gets caught, backtracks, and hopes no one pays attention.
This country is not building enough homes. It means there's more demand as the population grows, but limited supply, and that means higher prices. A record number made homeless, a younger generation facing no chance of affording a home.
But peer player paying attention, the UK is already in the middle of a housing crisis with citizens struggling to find affordable homes, yet Labour is pushing a plan that seems to put illegal immigrants ahead after those who actually need housing. It's not poor policy making, it's a disaster waiting to happen. Meanwhile, for all the criticism he gets, Trump actually prioritised Americans. His immigration policies strengthened border control. On this administration took a hard stance, a contrast that with Labour, which seems more focused on providing housing for citizens than addressing the struggles of British families.
Shall I help you? I've got a number. Shall I give it to you?
Go on then, you give it me. Go on, right. If you've got it, you give it me. And it is a substantial number. Yes, go for it.
Don't you think it's rather strange that it's left to the journalists, the media, to inform the Labour Party of the number? You're talking about 520,445 primary school pupils in England alone, classes of 31 or more.
Rayner's lack of awareness isn't just embarrassing, it raises serious questions about Labour's leadership. If she can't even keep track of her own policies, what else is slipping through the crack under? Case Stameth, UK's problems are only getting worse, is on the rise, the economy isn't stable, and now there's a housing plan that doesn't add up. This isn't just about Rayner looking unprepared on TV, it's about her leadership or the complete lack of it.
To begin with, it is a pleasure to have another exchange with the Right Honourable Lady in this House, our 5th in 12 months. Any more of these and she'll be claiming it as her principal residence. On the issue of no-fault evictions, it may have escaped the Right Honourable Lady's attention, but we will be voting on exactly that matter later today. The Conservative government taking action.
Angela Rayner's housing plan isn't the only thing falling apart time and time again. She's been caught off guard in interviews, stumbling over the details and failing to explain how Labour will actually solve the UK's problems. She talks a big game, but when it's time to back it up, the answers just aren't there. And viewers know it. They press her anti-policies and she struggles to defend them, almost as if they're testing how much she actually understands, and so far the results speak for themselves. Labour's leadership seems more focused on making promises than delivering real.
You're meeting Keir Starmer, the UK Premier.
I actually think he's very nice. I think he ran a great race. He did very well. It's very early, but he's popular, and I'll be seeing him, and I'll send you regards.
Meanwhile, across the Atlantic, Donald Trump is making headlines again, but not for taking shots at Labour. Instead, he surprised everyone by oddly praising Keir Starmer, even saying he's done well so far. Was he being serious, or was this a strategic move to stir the pot in the UK? Whatever the intention is, left Labour in an uncomfortable position. Unsure whether to embrace the compliment or brace for the backlash.
Labour Party, Keir Starmer confirmed this earlier this week, they are going to put up your taxes by £2,000.
That's a lie.
By £2,000 per working household.
Penny, your government have raised taxes to the record level in 70 years.
Yeah,
the last
we have,
Parliament,
and we've hated putting taxes up. We have now been cutting taxes. We will continue to cut taxes. The country can afford it.
You're using you're using a figure that's been criticised by this UK statistics watchdog.
Costings and Labour's
Why don't you stand by your record? Record levels of taxes on working people. 26 separate tax hikes in the last Parliament.
About 12 new taxes.
Rayner may believe that taking shots at Trump makes her look strong, but their reality tells a different story. If she struggles to get through a tough interview without stumbling, how can she be trusted to help run a country? Angela Rayner is quick to attack Trump, but let's compare records. Love him or hate him, Trump got things done under his leadership. The US saw record job growth, tax cuts, and a crackdown on illegal immigration. His administration brokered red peace deals, reshaped trade agreements, and prioritized American interests. Now look at Rayner. She's part of a government that has failed to control immigration, struggled to fix the economy, and watch public services decline. She can mock Trump all she wants, but the truth is, had delivered results, something Labour is still trying to figure out how to do.
So can I bring you back to my question? What would Labour do?
Well, we've already talked about, I mean, some of the taxation decisions that the government have made around inheritance tax, capital gains tax, corporation tax, where you've given away money. Okay. This is what Jeremy was talking about in Prime Minister's question today. You've given away money that actually, quite frankly, we need to spend. And it's not just about an ageing population. That is phony. People know about the ageing population for some time. We've cut the criteria so people can't get community care. We treat our older people at the moment like dogs. It's a disgrace. We shouldn't do that.
But, excuse me,
putting money in the primary care
Would you
services.
reverse the cuts on corporation tax?
I think that the cuts on corporation tax are missing a point because we need that money. We need that money at the moment.
Would you reverse it? Hold on.
Inheritance tax.
Would you reverse them?
I think that at the moment, cutting at a time where we need those services and people need.
Contrast is impossible to ignore. Trump strengthened America's position on the global stage, while Labour under Starmer and Rayner has left the UK weaker. The economy is unstable, crime is rising, and public trust in politicians is at an all-time low. Yet, instead of focusing on fixing these problems, Rayner chooses to spend her time hurling insults at some man who isn't even part of UK's politics. And here's the real twist. Trump has barely responded. Instead of firing back, he's playing mind games, casually complimenting Starmer and leaving Labour looking even more uncertain. It's a classic Trump move. While his opponents waste energy attacking him, he steps back and lets them unravel on their own.
I think that at the moment, cutting at a time where we need those services and people need those services is the wrong decision to make.
But I'm asking you, would you reverse the cut in corporation tax?
But I'm telling you, Andrew, that our priority is
you're not telling me the question.
I am. I'm
answer.
saying that the cuts in corporation tax, the cuts in inheritance tax, the cuts in capital gains tax.
Angela Rayner might think she's making a statement by attacking Trump, but this move could backfire in a big way. Trump isn't just any politician, he's a global powerhouse, with the ability to control the narrative. If he decides to respond, it won't be subtle. His words shape headlines, sway public opinion, and dominate news cycles. Rayner may have just walked into a fight she has no chance of.
And that's wrong because you're spending it.
You're just off now.
No,
let me bring you back to let me bring you back to the question. Look, you think there may be an election coming up, so you need to get your policies right. What would the capital gains tax be under a Labour government, and how much would that raise compared to now?
But I've told you, Andrew, what our priority is. It's about how we invest in our public services.
No, I'm asking you how you would raise the money. How much money would you recoup?
Excuse me,
it's important you answer the questions because you want people's votes. How much extra money would you raise by changing the current corporation tax and capital gains tax structures?
But Andrew, we've talked about in absolute detail about the current tax system, and we've said actually that the money that the decisions that the government have made and the decisions on where they're spending current money is completely inappropriate.
So how much would you save?
You've cut 50%. In my constituency, both of my councils have seen over 50% cuts to their budget. No. So all of the people that need support are in acute services now, crippling our NHS.
Then there's the issue of public perception. Rayner's credibility is already on thin ice. After multiple interview blunders and policy missteps, culling Trump a buffoon might win her applause from some, but it also shines a spotlight on her own shortcomings. If she struggles to defend her own policy, what makes her so confident in tearing down others? Every mistake she makes from this point forward will only deepen the doubt surrounding her leadership.
Minister set his growth test. He said if a policy is good for growth, the answer is yes. If it's not, the answer is no. This morning, the Chancellor embraced a series of Conservative policies. Although many are welcomed, they will take years to deliver.
When Labour has promised change, but under Starmer's leadership, the UK is only sinking deeper into crisis, inflation, isking households, crime is on Theris, and the NHS is struggling to stay afloat. Yet every time Rayner is president, what Labour will do differently, she either dodges the question or stumbles for a vague response. Politics isn't just about throwing punches, it's about proving you can lead, and right now, Rayner has far more to prove than Trump ever will. If you enjoyed this breakdown, like and subscribe to the channel for more updates like this.